Hello. In this segment we're going to go over how to flush your motor. Now this is a motor flusher. It's the old style motor flusher that used to be used before the motors had their own flushing attachment. This can be picked up at any hardware store. I got this one, or any sporting supply store. I got this one at Walmart for like just under $12. And this is a kind that's got the dual flush. Hook the hose up here, water flows in both sides. You've also got the kind where water flows in only one side, and it really don't matter. Now if you have larger motors, you know, 100 horsepower, 150, 300, you'll want to definitely get this kind, but it's universal, it'll work for everything. Now for the Tracker 170, you could use the one size, because the biggest you're going to get to 50 horsepower, it'll be fine. This is the one they just happened to have in stock when I went to the store. So we're going to use this today, but the other way to flush your motor is, all motors made within the last 10 years or so, right where the outlet is, where the water comes out when you're running the motor, is threaded for your garden hose. Now you can hook up into there, you can screw it into there, screw your garden hose into there, turn the water on, and it'll do a reverse flush. You do not, I repeat, you do not run the motor while you do this, because what'll happen is the motor will push out the normal way outward while you're trying to push inward. So when you hook your hose up here, like so, and then we're just going to go turn the water on, and we're going to do some flushing. Now you can see where it's not a real good tight fit, but whatever. Let's see it coming out of the inlets, which is where the water normally comes into when you're running the boat. It's coming out there like it should, and it's going to come out here a little bit. Now if you're sitting on an incline like I am, you might want to tilt it to get more of it out. Go through the inlets and all that good stuff. Normally you're going to run this 5 to 10 minutes, flush out all the dirt and grime. This is especially important if you're going to be operating this on a saltwater environment. Now I'm going to get real quick and wet here and show that it's also coming out the other side. And again, run this for 5 minutes or so, and again, do not run the motor while you're flushing this way. It's really a reverse flush. Normally the water is going to come in on the inlets down there and out here. If you run the boat, if you run the motor while you're doing this, you're going to take the risk of damaging your motor, because it's going to be trying to pump out while you're trying to pump in. Now next we're going to go with the other method of flushing, which is the old method, and we'll be back to take a look at that. For this particular case, I killed my motor the other day by using the 12-volt accessory on the console. I don't think I'm ever going to use that again. Killed my motor, I couldn't get it started, I had to bring the boat in with the trolling motor. So what we're going to do today is make sure that I got the battery charged enough and that the motor will start, yada yada, and that we're good to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to take out the motor flusher out of the packet and hook it up to the regular garden hose, and then attach it to the inlets. Now on my boat, I'm too close to the trailer, so you can see that I'm going to have to tilt my motor up to be able to put this on. So we're going to tilt it up just a little bit. That's more than enough. Then we're going to go ahead and put this on. We're just going to wedge this over the inlets. It slides right over the inlets. Make sure it's got as snug a fit as you can. These things are universal, so it's not going to be 100% perfect. As long as you got your inlets covered, you're good to go. And then you simply hook up a regular garden hose to it, like so. And then once we go turn on the garden hose, you don't have to have a full force or anything, maybe halfway. I just happen to have a nice little adapter here on mine. You're going to see now that water is coming out of the fixtures. Now, don't worry about how much water is coming out. Just like I said, this is a universal fit, so it's not made for this. It's not snug. As long as you got water coming, flowing, you can tell. And we're going to go start the motor. Now, we should see water come out right there like normal, just like you're operating on the water. And here she comes. Now, you'll also see water coming out here and there. So we're good to go. And that way you can test your motor. You can flush your water out of your motor, because when you're going along, especially if you're in shallow water, you're going to pick up all kind of dirt and debris, sand, whatever. And every now and then you're going to need to flush it. You can do the reverse flush. That's easy enough. But if you also want to test your motor, I'm going to charge your battery a little bit. You hook up the old style like we just did, and we're rocking and rolling. We'll let that run for a little bit and we'll be good to go. Now when you're done flushing your motor and you're ready to put everything up, always make sure you do not have your motor running unless there's water going through it. So you put the water through first, then turn on your motor like you just saw. Now that we're done, we're going to turn off our motor first before we take out the water. Now that the motor's off, we can safely disconnect the water and we're good to go. Again, never run your motor outside of the lake or river unless you have the water hooked up. Hook the water up first, then start, then stop, then unhook the water. Happy fishing and be safe.